Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be figuring out what happens to the members of the old gang after you beat the game. So obviously, as you saw in the title of this video, there's going to be big spoilers with this because obviously you have to get past both episodes or both chapters of the epilogue in order to figure out what ultimately happens here. So hopefully by now you are aware of this, and you want to figure out what has happened. So with out of the way, let's jump into this and let's get it started. The first character that you can actually find today is Rain Falls, who is actually at the train station in Ansburg.
Excuse me. Hello? Didn't I meet you a long time ago? I don't know. With Arthur? Arthur Morgan? Oh, yes. My name is Rainsfall. And I'm Jim Milton. John Marston. Oh. Is Arthur, He passed away a long time ago. Oh, I'm sorry. He saved my life. He gave his. That doesn't surprise me one bit. And you? I know you had tough times. Well... My people aren't really a tribe. We're just a bunch of families, I suppose. But we're in Canada now. It's, What are you doing here? I don't really know. My son, I suppose. Oh, he fell. I know. I'm sorry. I've got a son. I'm very sorry. Oh, it was a long time ago now. Well, it's good to see you, Mr. Marston. And you.
So the story itself with Rain Falls is really, really sad, and this just adds to it. It looks like he and most of his tribe has ended up moving to Canada, and obviously he's still grieving the loss of his son, Eagle Flies. So this story was really sad, and for whatever reason, after I met with him, my honor went up a ton. I don't know if this is something that happens for everyone or just me, but if you're looking for a good way to get your honor to go up, you might want to go talk to Rain Falls in Ansburg, because that was pretty interesting. Character number 2 that we get to check in on today is Mary Beth, and Mary Beth is at the Valentine train station. She's pretty easy to find as well.
Mary Beth.
John? John, is it you?
How the hell are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Abigail, is she?
She's well. Jack's growing up.
Sweet boy.
Not anymore. But he's okay. How are you?
I'm well. I write now. Silly romances, but it's fun. Oh, it's such fun.
Do you?
My pen name is Leslie Dupont. Sort of French, sort of ambiguous. Well, the books are unambiguously awful, but they sell.
Good for you. I'm so proud.
I still think about you all. That was quite a time.
Yeah. Arthur saved my life before he passed. I don't talk about him much, but I think about him.
Me too. And Dutch?
Ran off someplace.
All aboard!
Such a shame.
Last call.
Oh, anyway, John, I better get on my train. It was really lovely seeing you. Oh, here. It's for you.
Thank you. Take care now.
Bye!
So I tried to get on the train and follow Mary Beth just to see where she was going. That clearly didn't work. Well, it turns out she has become a romance book author. So that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't have honestly expected that from her life in the gang, but it looks like she has settled down pretty well and is taking care of herself, writing fun romance books. Our third character that we can meet today is Tilly Jackson, who is actually right next to the trolley station in the middle of Saint Denis.
John Marston.
Miss Tilly.
That's Mrs. Tilly to you. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm well. Well and happy, and I miss you and Abigail.
She's well. Jack's well. All is well, I think. I never thanked you for what you did.
Oh, there's the trolley. I still think about all of you all the time. My life, it's different now.
Mine too. But I still see a bunch of Charles and Uncle and Sadie. So not quite so different as Abigail would like.
I married a lawyer. He's a fine man. We live in a house.
Us too.
I'm sorry, I've got to go. I'm late, but can I write to you and Abigail someplace?
Yeah, we're up at Beecher's Hope, over in Great Plains, West Elizabeth.
I'll try. Be well, John Marston.
So it looks like things are going really well for Tilly Jackson. She is now pregnant and married to a lawyer in Saint Denis. So I'd say her life turned around very quickly from all the trouble she was getting into in the gang. So her story is pretty cool. John actually invites her up to Beecher's Hope, and she says that she would try to ultimately get up there. Character number 4 today doesn't necessarily have a cutscene, but he does work at the Rhodes General Store, and that is Pearson. So Pearson is kind of awesome. He was one of my favorite characters from the gang, and I think this is a perfect fit for him. The fact that he has his own general store now is sort of right up his alley. And even though he doesn't have a cutscene, he'll, exclaim that he can't believe that you're alive, and he'll talk about Abigail and Jack and ask how they're doing. So it is pretty cool to catch up with Pearson again. And just like any other general store clerk or employee, he'll ask you how you're doing, if you're finding everything okay, what you think as you look through the catalog. So it's really just a wholesome encounter to finally be able to see Pearson again. You can actually find out what happened to Reverend Swanson if you buy the 74th issue of the Blackwater Ledger, which for me is only 19 cents, so I'm sure all of you guys can afford this. And basically, you just want to scroll over to the article title that is Reverend Swanson Leads New York Church. And it says, delivers powerful message. Reverend Orville Swanson was inducted into his official capacity as minister at the First Congregational Church of New York this week, having moved to the city to accept the position. A service was held, and then a reception was given to celebrate the appointment. Encouraging reports from attendees indicate that Reverend Swanson delivered an impassioned and heartfelt sermon about acknowledging sin and seeking redemption. He spoke about his break from faith, a dark period when he could not attend church, falling into sin, depravity, and wanting gluttony. He chronicled the period where he rediscovered his faith and began witnessing on street corners, to then become assistant pastor at a church in Ohio and now New York. During his recent attendance at the convention meeting of the First Congregational Churches, he delivered a very moving oration, impressing attendees as an eloquent and persuasive speaker, and was almost immediately offered the position. So it looks like Reverend Swanson has also turned his life around as well. He now is the leader of a church in New York. And he does talk about his life in the gang, although he doesn't specifically mention it, but you can kind of tell what that dark period was. And so he does mention his life in the gang, which I do think is kind of cool. And the final character in which we can actually see today is Trelawny. So Josiah Trelawny can actually be found, or a photo of him can be found in the Armadillo General Store. There's actually a photo of him behind the counter, which is so strange. I don't know why that is there or why the general store guy has it, but you can actually check it out, and it is 100% him. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you get like your binoculars out, or if you zoom in on it, it is like 100% Josiah Trelawny. So that right there is what has happened to all the members of the old gang in Red Dead Redemption 2 after you beat the game. Obviously, there's a couple characters that we don't hear about anymore, like Bill Williamson and Dutch, because we know their involvement in the first Red Dead Redemption game. And there's also a couple of characters that we just don't know what happened to them, like Karen Jones, for example. We haven't heard from her, or we haven't seen her anywhere in game. So will she make an appearance in a single player DLC, story mode update? I'm really not too sure, but I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more on running into the old members of the gang, and what do you think of their story and their life now that the game has been completed? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below, so let me know what you think down there. If you did go on and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.